A long time ago, a young boy named Nello lived in a small village. The village was near the big city of Antwerp. Nello lived with his old grandfather in a tiny, humble hut. They were very poor and had very little money. Nello and his grandfather worked hard every day. They sold fresh milk to the people in the city. They pulled a small cart filled with metal cans. The road to the city was long and dusty. They were often very tired and very hungry. One day, they found a large dog lying by the side of the road. The dog was very sick and very weak. He had been treated very badly by a mean master. His name was Patrasche. He was a big, strong dog with yellow fur. Nello and his grandfather took the dog to their small home. They gave him cool water to drink and a soft bed of straw. They cared for him with great love and kindness. Soon, the big dog began to feel much better and stronger. Patrasche was very grateful to the young boy and the old man. He wanted to help them with their hard work. He stood in front of the milk cart and began to pull. He became Nello's best friend and his most loyal helper. Every morning, the boy and the dog went to the city together. They walked past the green fields and the tall windmills. Patrasche pulled the heavy cart with ease. Nello sang songs as they walked along the path. They were very happy together. Nello had a big dream in his young heart. He wanted to be a great artist. He loved to draw pictures of the things he saw. He used small pieces of charcoal to draw on the white walls of their tiny hut. In the big city, there was a grand cathedral. Inside the cathedral were two famous paintings by a man named Rubens. The paintings were covered with thick, dark cloths. You had to pay a piece of silver to see the beautiful art. Nello was too poor to pay for the silver coin. He stood in the cold shadows and looked at the dark cloths. He wished he could see the beautiful colors and the fine lines. He promised himself that he would be an artist one day. Nello had a friend named Alois. She was the daughter of a very rich man in the village. Her father did not like Nello because the boy was poor. He told Alois that she could not play with Nello or his dog. Nello felt very sad because he liked Alois very much. He drew a beautiful picture of her on a piece of wood. He gave the picture to her as a gift. Alois loved the drawing, but her father was still very angry. One winter, a big fire started at the rich man's farm. The man blamed Nello for the fire. He told everyone in the village that Nello was a bad boy. This was not true, but the people believed the rich man's lies. The people stopped buying milk from Nello and his grandfather. They did not have any money to buy bread or wood for the fire. The winter was very cold, and the snow was very deep. They felt very lonely and very cold. Then Nello's dear grandfather passed away in the middle of the night. Nello was all alone in the world. He only had his dog, Patrasche, to keep him warm. He cried many tears because he missed his grandfather so very much. Nello entered a big art contest in the city. He drew a wonderful picture of a man sitting on a log. He hoped to win the prize of money. If he won the prize, he could buy food for himself and for Patrasche. On the day of the contest, Nello went to the city hall. He waited to hear the names of the winners, but the judges chose a different boy. They did not choose Nello's drawing. Nello felt like his heart was breaking into pieces. It was the night before Christmas, and the air was freezing. Nello had no home and no food. He walked through the deep snow with his dog. He felt very weak and very tired. He walked toward the grand cathedral in the city. On the way, Patrasche found a large leather bag in the snow. Inside the bag were many gold coins. It belonged to the rich man from the village. The man had dropped it while walking home in the dark winter night. Nello took the bag of gold to the rich man's house. He gave the money to the man's wife. He told her to take care of Patrasche. He said he could not look after the dog anymore. Then he ran away into the storm. Patrasche did not want to stay in the warm house. He jumped out of a window and ran after Nello. He followed the boy's scent through the deep white snow. He found Nello inside the dark and quiet cathedral in the city. The cathedral was very cold, but the moon was very bright. The light shone through the windows. The cloths on the famous paintings had fallen down. Nello could finally see the beautiful art he had dreamed of for so many long years. Nello sat on the cold floor and looked at the paintings. He felt very peaceful and very happy. Patrasche lay down beside him and put his head on the boy's lap. They stayed together in the quiet and the dark of the night. The next morning, the people found them in the cathedral. Nello and Patrasche had gone to heaven together. They were no longer cold or hungry. They were in a place where there was no pain or sadness at all. The rich man from the village felt very sorry. He knew that Nello was a good and honest boy. He wished he had been kind to Nello. He cried because he had treated the poor boy and the loyal dog so badly. The famous artist who judged the contest also came. He saw Nello's drawing and said it was the best one. He wanted to help Nello become a great painter. But he was too late to help the boy and his dog. The people of the village never forgot the story of Nello. They told the story to their children and their grandchildren. They talked about the boy who loved art. They talked about the dog who was a true and loyal friend. Today, there is a statue of Nello and Patrasche in the city. They are sleeping together under a stone blanket. People come from all over the world to see them. They leave flowers and small gifts at the feet of the statue. The story reminds everyone to be kind to the poor. It reminds us that love is more important than gold. Nello and Patrasche are together forever in a land of light. They are happy, and they are safe in the sky. Nello's dream of being an artist finally came true. His name is known by many people now. They look at his story and feel a great love in their hearts. The little boy and his big dog are icons of friendship. The wind blows softly over the fields of Flanders today. The windmills turn slowly in the bright sun. The birds sing in the green trees. Everything is quiet and calm. The world is a much better place because of their story. The story of the boy and the dog will live on. It is a story of hope and a story of love. It teaches us to follow our dreams even when life is hard. It teaches us that true friends never leave us alone. Nello and Patrasche walk in the golden gardens of heaven. They pull a cart filled with stars and light. They are never tired, and they are never cold. They live in peace and joy forever and ever.